Hello, my indigos and crystals. We're going to talk about highly sensitive people and how do they manage when they are inside a relationship. It's very good because many indigos are considered HSPs, especially if you have two traits, which is you need a lot of time on your own. That's to recharge when you feel overwhelmed, and also when you need a lot of time um, for inner searching. Okay, so those are two things that highly sensitive people has. Um, we're gonna talk about relationships and about love in relationships because it's a very good topic that, as indigos and crystals, we need to address. Um, you could know if you are an HSP if you sometimes fall in love too hard, but you fear intimacy, and sometimes your partner tells you that you are very sensitive and you struggle to respect um, a less sensitive partner, or you have given up on love and the idea of being too sensitive uh, brings more pain to your wounds. So the first thing that you have to know, if you are in an HSP relationship or your partner is an HSP person, again highly sensitive person, is that you need to always create a dialogue. Okay. Yes, like the old-fashioned way, listening, just listening, no analyzing, no judging, no making questions, and very important, don't be defensive. Okay, because if you start defending yourself, then you upset everything. Okay, so when you create this dialogue um, um, condition inside your couple, um, you learn to understand that it's not about hurting each other, that is not about creating conflicts, that is not about doing things um, that you think that might not be having any solution. So in, instead of making conflicts, when you just sit down and listen, you learn to put yourself in your partner's shoes. So don't be critical and actually try to find out a way to respectfully listen to each other, even if their points of views are very different. Um, right now, in this culture, we have a problem with sensitivity for both men and women. You know, men are not supposed to be very sensitive, and women actually should be very sensitive. Okay, so men has to struggle hiding their sensitivity, and because it might not look very manly, and sensitive women are also to be treated as friends only, not in a romantic way, because they're very vulnerable, and what happened if we hurt them, and all this blah 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 blah. So by some extent, inside the relationship, you always have to put yourself in the shoes of the protector and the provider. Okay, the protector of your own world, this world that you create when you are dating, when you are married, when you have a relationship. You have to be the protector. You have to always find ways to keep your relationship functioning and protect it from external factors, gossiping, hate, infidelity, um, being selfish. And also you have to be the provider. You always have to put yourself in the other person's shoes to see what is it that you are not giving that person. You are not giving enough love, you are not listening good enough, you are not being understanding, and you being very judgmental. So you have to always um, seeing the bigger picture inside the relationship, because being HSP is not about judging. It's about creating bridges. It's about establishing a good way of communication. Another thing that is good that I would like to mention about HSPs is that usually HSPs have some situation with a troubled childhood. So if you recognize that in your partner, it would be good that you try to always have an open communication channel regarding that childhood, so he or she can express what they went through, and they can learn not to run away from their wounds but to heal them. Okay, so in that case, the happier the person in the HSP is when they learn when how they can heal their wounds from the past or from the childhood. Don't let him just sit there and say, oh yes, it doesn't matter, it was a long time ago. No, actually listen to the person, and if you find that there is still some trouble, try to help them so they can bring healing to their own wounds. Another last thing that I would like to tell you about HSPs is how to improve your boundaries. Okay, why? Because when you improve the boundaries within yourself inside the relationship, you can learn how to take care of themselves and how to understand the relationship of desire and needs. Okay, that's how you manage a relationship in the correct way with a highly sensitive person. The desires are what, of course, you're looking for your own satisfaction and fulfillment in the relationship, but you also have to look into the needs of your partner. So you don't start making a problem with different stereotypes around the relationship. Okay, so if you are inside a sensitive relationship, please try to always keep a boundary, a healthy one. Okay, no one that will actually withdraw you completely from your partner, that allows you to see the desires and the needs of the relationship. Okay, and another huge issue is stereotypes. Sometimes we put women on a stereotype, and sometimes women put men in a stereotype. We shouldn't stereotype our partners. Why? Because that will create false expectations, and also it will create false fears, because some stereotypes are not good also. So please avoid building stereotypes for your couple. I hope this video helps you, so you can see sensitivity as a blessing and not as a curse for your relationship. And always try to have an open channel for dialogue. Alright? So yes, there is future when you are very sensitive on where your couple it is. So love and light and blessings. Bye.